Is it possible to be an actor and digital nomad at the same time? I'm about to answer that for you. But guys, I'm Al with Storm Dagger Films, my actor, writer, director, editor, everything going thing, y'all. And y'all to the film and entertainment space like I am, maybe an actor, YouTuber, musician, or just like some good old movie and TV content. This is a channel for you, so go ahead and get this channel like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss a single thing what I'm doing on this channel. And also guys, I'm making my very first animated feature film called Project Stellar. If that's something you'd like to learn more about, here's a video right here and link in the description below if you guys like to donate to it. I call Project Stellar my lifetime film. I feel like every director should have that film that they should just be working constantly on every day for a long time until you one day get that film up to par to take it somewhere even bigger. So that's my plans with Project Stellar. It's not a sprint. Definitely gonna take a long time, and excuse the plane that's passing by. But anyway, also one last thing guys, I do have merchandise also available, but for US resident only, so that's something you guys like check out as well. Link in the description below, but let's continue on. Alright guys, so can you be an actor and digital nomad at the same time? So first off, let's talk about what exactly is a digital nomad. Okay, so a digital nomad is basically, you're pretty much an online worker. You know, you work from home, whether it be your online business or whether it just be you work from a company online and you make your money that way. And you're able to live abroad. And for a lot of people that do digital nomading and do it all over the world, they tend to live a lot more comfortable than a lot of other people. So that's basically what digital nomad is. You know, you're basically a worldwide traveler and you're working on the internet and you're making more money because it's your home currency. Let's say you're a American like me and you're making your currency in America, you know, on the US dollar, and then you go over to another country where their currency is much more weaker than the US currency. So the exchange rates are much higher. So when the exchange rates are much higher, guess what? You're going to have a lot more money in your pocket because one US dollar may be equal to 50 to 100 of another country's money. So, and in other words, it's just going to make your life a lot more easier pretty much because like your expenses is going to be so much more cheaper. So how can you be an actor though and still be able to be a digital nomad at the same time? Now, first thing you want to understand is that guys, you can act virtually anywhere. You can literally be a voice actor and work from home. You know, you don't have to just be out here going on sets and stuff all the time. And like, you just have so much options with acting. Like, it doesn't have to be Los Angeles, California. It doesn't have to be New York. Like, heck, it doesn't even have to be Atlanta, Georgia to make it an acting. You know, you can literally be anywhere in the world and act. Like, it's crazy where like studios will go to like the randomest places that like middle of nowhere sometimes, and they'll be looking for people in certain countries, and it'll just be like the most like secluded area that you just never heard of. So, you know, acting opportunity is everywhere. I mean, you'll probably have the best shot in America, but here's my counter way to basically solve the problem so you don't miss out on a lot of opportunities here in America with like revolving acting. And also you do have other options as well if you do decide to be a digital nomad and travel outside of the US and go live in other countries. So the first way you can counter missing a lot of the opportunities in America for acting, the first thing you can do is just make sure you're making enough so you can travel back to America whenever you want. So if there's a good acting gig in California and you're staying in let's just say Australia, and as long as you have the money to get back to America to go and you know, do that gig and come right back, that's really all that matters at the end of the day. So now, how on earth do I find acting gigs in the first place? Well, you have to go to a acting website like either Backstage, All Casting, or you know, Actors Access. I heard that was a pretty good one. So you got a decent amount of options. In fact, I do have a few links below if you guys want to sign up with Backstage below. Now, I'm not sponsored nothing by them, but They have all the acting gigs, like from literally all around the world, the UK, America, practically everywhere you can think of remote acting work. So, you know, you have a lot of options when you're an actor. And also another thing, so when you do decide to move out overseas, here's what I would also recommend. So let's say if you go pick a country like the Philippines. So you're kind of like in a more secluded area, like because you're on like an island, and you do have Australia close by. So yeah, there was acting gigs and stuff going over there. That's a big area. Heck, you know, they shot Mortal Kombat over there in Australia in the Outback, if I'm not mistaken. And so you have options that are near you. So you don't just have to go to America. In fact, the UK, for example, they have a crap ton of acting gigs over there. Like when you go on Backstage, you'll see a lot of acting gigs in the UK. Like that's another hot spot, you know. Like, so if you don't want to go back to America, just look at the UK. Look at other countries around, you know. Just tell the studio, hey, I'm willing to fly myself onto the set and you know, work on the set with you guys if that's okay. For the most part, the studio typically won't mind that, you know, or production. But now let's say as they're paying pretty good money, like I'm talking $10,000-$20,000, and you do happen to land the role, or say as you're just trying to get that role, you know, you apply for it, I would say put in the description or even mention to the studio, because hey, you know, they may not be able to fly you out to that production studio to go shoot the film. So this is what I would do. I would reach out to the studio and be like, hey man, listen, I'm way over here in Sydney, Australia. I know the film is in South Africa. Is there any way I can maybe take a pay cut and you guys can fly me out? And, you know, just basically, you know, take from the money that you guys were already like automatically going to give me to basically fly me over and fly me back home, you know, when this thing is over. So that's another option. Or you can just tell them, hey, I have the money to fly over. Is that okay? You know, can I fly myself over to this set? So that's another option as well. So really, that's really all to it, because, you know, like, and honestly, the big reason why I want to make this video, because I'm entering the stages of becoming a digital nomad. You know, I'm trying to establish myself online, and one of my New Year's resolutions, if you watched that video a few days ago, is to try to leave America and live in a different country, you know, and see how that works out. And I want to do it because, you know, I just see the power of the exchange rates of the US dollar. And also, I just want to pay cash for most of my stuff. You know, one of the downfalls about living in America is just the fact, like, it's such a debt operated country. You know, it's not often you're going to see too many people speaking like Dave Ramsey and encouraging you to pay cash for everything. Most people out here are up to debt up to their eyeballs, and personally, that's not how I want to live. People say, oh, if you got good credit, you can do anything. I mean, if you lose that job that was paying you all that good money, guess what? Your credit is going downhill. You go through a divorce, your credit going downhill. So I don't really like that type of concept. I mean, I never really understand it like that. I mean, I'm not trying to dish it, you know. Like, if you're doing it from a business perspective, you know, I understand that actually does make sense, you know, to take out a loan here and there for business and to make more money. I understand that, but to do it for a house, a car, all these liabilities, you know, that's just not a smart idea. A house can be, actually scratch that, a house can actually be and like an extra form of income actually. But it just depends, you know, like, are you willing to rent out rooms? Are you willing to, you know, make an Airbnb in your own house? Are you willing to do that? And if you're not that person that's trying to do that, then it's pretty much a liability. You know, you're just getting it just to get it, you know. And just looking at the housing market and stuff in America, I'm just like, honestly, like, because guys, I'm 23 years old. I'll be real with y'all, like, even though I did got like a crazy outstanding like high level job and everything, I don't really see myself buying a house in America because I'm just looking like I'm looking at inflation, and we're just like, this is just the tip of the iceberg, you know, where we're at right now. Now I know inflation is going around worldwide, but like, why would I pay top dollar to get a mediocre life when I can take the same US dollar, exchange it for a higher currency, have more money in my pocket in another country, and live arguably better in a different country? Because that's what I want to do next year. You know, I thought really hard about it. I was really trying to figure out, man, how can I still act and still be able to you know, be a digital nomad, because that's my two goals: acting, digital nomad, and also directing as well. You know, those three things alone. So I was just kind of thinking, it's like, man, you know, I built all these connections out here from acting, directing, and everything, and I was just trying to figure out, like, should I really leave all that behind? And then I was thinking, you know, I'm not really leaving it behind, because eventually I'm gonna be coming back. You know, because when you're on a visa in another country, like, you can only stay there for a certain period of time. It may be a few months, a few years, however long on that visa lasts. And then after that, you gotta go back to the US, check in over there, and stay there for however long. I think it's like a day or two, if that. And then you can come right back and stay another basically stay another year or however long it is on your visa. Once you get it like pretty much all extended for yourself. So, you know, that's really my plan. And, you know, in terms of the countries I'm considering, I'm looking heavily at Latin America. Belize is one of them. Guyana, maybe, but I'll probably take Belize just because it's a bit more developed. And also they do speak English. Like they do speak English out there, which is awesome, because not many Latin American countries speak English. So it's cool to know that there are some parts in Latin America where they do speak English. And Guyana is another one. It just, I don't know, it's not as developed enough for me. But I ain't gonna lie, you know, it's still on the table. But my number one, honestly, like, actually no, scratch that. Like, a lot of my number one countries I've been looking at surprisingly been Africa. Like, I was looking at South Africa. South Africa is dope, guys. Like, y'all take some time looking at South Africa. I'm still learning more about it, but South Africa is dope, guys. Like, because I've been, like, arguably probably the most beautiful place I've been to so far is still Miami. Miami was gorgeous. Like, the first time I've been to Miami, that was the most beautiful place I've ever been. And, you know, and I'm born and raised in Florida. You know, I'm originally from Tampa, Florida. So when I went to Miami, I was like, wow, this is beautiful. And everywhere else I went to, I was like, man, ain't nowhere else can top Miami. But I would never live in Miami, because I'm just like, bro, this is like, I'm not gonna pay $2,000 near close to it or more just for an apartment, mediocre apartment, you know, and just so I can say I live in Miami. Like, nah, I'm not about to do that. And now I will say, you know, as an actor, I haven't been to Los Angeles yet, but probably by sometime next year, I'll definitely try to go if I get an acting gig out there. So yeah, hopefully I do get something out there. I may actually have one coming up soon, actually, now that I think about it. So yeah, y'all stay tuned for that. But yeah, you know, South Africa really took my breath away when I was doing research on it, because I was like, wow, you know, it's not only is it very developed, you know, like, I mean, it's not like crazy developed like America, but it's pretty dang on close. And, you know, like, there's a lot of rich parts to South Africa. And on top of that, like, it's very diverse in terms of people. Like, it's really like living back in Florida, you know, very big melting pot of people. You know, so I was just like, wow, you know, that's pretty awesome. But I will say the only thing I don't like about South Africa is they have this thing, and it's actually in a lot of African countries. It's called load shedding. Now, load shedding is basically when the power doesn't run like all day. So like the power would cut off for about 2 to 3 hours, if I'm not mistaken, like every other day or sometime throughout the week. But it's not really a big deal, you know, like, as long as I do research on the solar laws, like if I can buy solar, if I ever do buy a house out there, because buying a house in a lot of these African countries is actually super cheap. And buying solar panels on the house, I mean, that's really the way to go, and all I really got to do to like combat that. So that's really not much of an issue. And yeah, you know, even though I do work online and well trying to work full time online, you know, I'm not really doing anything where I have to clock in every single day. So, you know, yeah, that to me, you know, is yeah, it's not really going to affect me as much. And also I can just do my research on the area and see how much does that happen in this area, that area. So it's not a major turnoff. But to pay rent over there, like guys, check out how much you got to pay for rent over there in South Africa. You know, I'm still learning about the areas, but like guys, like a couple $100, if that, for a nice apartment. I mean, I'm talking, you get a pretty decent amount too for a couple $100 for an apartment out there. And now I'm not sure what all the requirements are. You know, I don't know, do I need to show pay stubs or what? I don't know what they require, or a year's worth of you know, like rent, which shouldn't be a problem. I mean, 100 some bucks. I mean, that's super cheap. You know, in America, you lucky if you find a decent $600 apartment. And if you do, you're gonna be living in the middle of nowhere, like out there in Arkansas or Mississippi or Dakota or somewhere. You know, if you're trying to look for those type of prices. But just the fact that you can be in a developed area like that for cheap, you know, that's what I'm looking for. And you know, like that's just me, you know. And then on top of that, I just want to travel and I do want to try something new. And but most important, I just want to have more money in my pocket, because I do want to buy a house one day, and I just don't see that happening for me in America. I mean, I can do it in the future, but it's just like I don't want to be in debt for the rest of my life. And if I ever do have children, I want to pass on that debt to them. But that's just me. Everybody thinks different, but you know, that is one of my goals, to move to most likely South Africa. If I can pull it off next year, that would be awesome. But there's a lot I got to do, a lot I'm still learning. It may even take an extra year, 2 years before something like that actually happen. And guys, I'm gonna have some dope content coming too for that. You know, like when I leave America, like permanently leave, like bruh, I'm gonna have some epic content coming for you guys. And man, I truly cannot wait. But guys, that's really all I gotta say. It's your boy Al with Storm Dagger Films. Like this type of content, like and subscribe, share. And as always, y'all take it easy. Have a blessed one. Y'all take it easy. All right, y'all. I have a question for you. Everybody out here who's watching this video right now, are you a YouTuber? And are you curious about how on earth can I make really good thumbnails like this? And I'm about to tell you guys how you do it. And basically, it doesn't involve any type of Adobe software, long, extensive times of editing just to make a really good thumbnail. I have a very fast and efficient way that I use to make all my thumbnails. And if you guys would like to learn more about it, please email me, stormdaggerfilms@yahoo.com. Again, that's stormdaggerfilms@yahoo.com to learn more and to set up a video call. That way I can walk you through the entire process. It is a small fee. But yeah, I just want to help everybody, all the YouTubers out there who are curious, like, man, how on earth can I make a really good thumbnail? And you know, I don't have to spend a crap ton of time just trying to edit the whole thing. So if you want to learn something like that and be more faster and efficient, definitely reach out to me. But it's Al from Storm Dagger Films. Like and subscribe, share, and I hope to hear from you soon. Y'all have a blessed one.